Good morning slash afternoon, traders. I apologize for the video that I posted. I could have sworn that the volume was up, but it seems like it might not have went clearly through. I'm sure this one will, but I'm going to update it. Um, my pre-boarding call was for you guys to pay attention to any type of weakness up here at these extreme highs close to R1. And you can see in the first half hour is always tricky because they're swinging size back and forth trying to get a feel. And you can see they're kind of holding R1 for the time being up until about this point. And like I said in previous videos, is that you want to also take a look at what the Dow's doing. And you can see the Dow was fighting its way to get to R1 as well, and then they tapped it, and that was kind of the heads up. And this was the entry right here around 50, uh, around 63, 62 and change, give or take. And you can see that immediately paid off, and it rolled, and you had confirmation. It tried to uptick, it didn't, it couldn't get going, and probably had another opportunity right here around 61 to get on board. And even if you're going to trade this for a couple handles, that's fine too. I mean, what's important here is that to understand the significance of these pivots and how price and how the big money will play around it. And it's value, and the value is probably saying we're a little overdone to the upside here. There's a gap, and lo and behold, the rest was just take care of it. Although they didn't finish it, and they stopped here around 35, and they gave you another run up, and basically came right back up to R1, and it gave you another short. I didn't take this one. I was a little busy, and you can see it pays off even if you play small targets. If you're doing multiple contracts and you're paying attention to it, the rule of thumb with these locations is the first or second reaction to it, you got to consider reversal short if you get confirmation. If you challenge the area half a dozen times, you got to be a little more cautious. But if it fires up and it confirms a reversal short, you got to take it. And here was another opportunity right here around somewhere around 58 or so or something like that. And this thing paid off as well. So once again, and you can see the rest, they finally filled the gap down to about 31, and we're kind of busting around it right now. I believe we got as low as 29. So, pay attention, see what they do. This is kind of no man's land right here. You could get the pop up from settlement. Let's see what the Dow's doing. Pay attention. Let's want to pay attention to what the Dow's doing. So, what you're seeing here is the same thought process in terms of will we get to R1 and reverse? Well, now you're asking yourself, will we get to the pivot? Both these markets are above their daily pivot. So, I don't know if you're going to get another shakeout. You're going to have to pay attention to it. But, you know, right now you're pretty much unchanged for the day. So you got to be careful here and see how this thing plays out for the afternoon. I got to believe that we're going to make a charge for the pivot, at least in the Dow, because we're pretty close to it. And, this one's a little further down, 4012. Let's see where these locations come into play. Um, Bear with me for a second. Let's open these up. You got this 9MA right here, 4002. We're not there, so let's just be patient with that. But if you do get a sell-off down there, or you sell off down to it, you're going to want to pay attention to a possible bounce. We'll see. Once again, the market keeps pushing these real extremes, and this trend line is a big deal. This is coming off the contract high, I believe. and we have yet to punch through it on several occasions. In fact, let me see if I can get this chart down here and I can show you a little better because it's already in squeeze formation. So here's the ES, and this is coming off the most recent high of 4.1. That's actually it's off of 46. That's pretty close to the contract high, and you can see we've yet to come through it. We get up there and then we fade. So you know, once again, it's about whether or not we can hold on to it. But you can see we keep holding on to these lower MAs, and everything is really down. As long as we stay above 3,900, 39, you can see it keeps coming up. Now, I don't know, we can digest and we could be setting up another setup one way or other. I don't know if it's a bear trap, bull trap. We're going to just have to see how this plays out. So, I mean, right now the structure looks pretty good. And you see the NASDAQ, I wasn't even paying attention to this. Here was a great trade for any of you NASDAQ traders. That's the 200. That would have been a reversal short up there. I wasn't following it at the time, but that's a big deal. Once again, these significant MAs play out very significantly in all of these markets. So let's see how this day plays out. You can see you can see we're holding settlement, and they're trying to push up higher. So you're kind of in the middle of nowhere here. So not much left here. A couple great shorts, and we'll see how the rest of this day sort of plays out. I hope this video comes in clearly and thoroughly. And if you have any questions, reach out. Guys, trade consistently, trade successfully. Be patient. Be good.